Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today on our Wednesday, December 19th, 2018 Team Prosperity Training. I appreciate everybody that's here today. I know how valuable your time is, and I also appreciate all of the people that take the time to listen to the recording that can't be here live. So I'm really excited to share some big announcements that are happening, and I can't wait to see Mike's presentation as well. So let me go ahead and pull up my presentation and start it here from the beginning. All right, here we go. So again, you know, this is our Team Prosperity Wednesday training, December 19th, 2018, and it's such an exciting time to be here and be part of this group. Things are really, really exploding, and if you haven't really gotten started, it's a great time to get started. What I wanted to do is I wanted to cover some of the big announcements that have been happening. If you were on yesterday's company training, it was really good. If you missed it, I strongly suggest that you do listen to it. And, you know, if 2018 wasn't your best year, you want to just learn from it. Really kind of get ramped up for 2019, hit the ground running. Here's a great Bill Gates quote: once you embrace unpleasant news, not as negative, but as evidence of a need for change, you aren't defeated by it, you're learning from it. And those are our two options, right? We win or we learn. Those are the two things that we're working towards. And that's the next slide here. You know, remember what you're working towards. Have a clear vision that drives you. That's a big part of the 12-week year, is getting that vision together, and definitely work on it and improve on it. And start building that vision, and that's going to drive you every day to do the tasks and do the day-to-day activity to get to making that vision a reality. Another great quote from Kevin O'Leary: the reason you become an entrepreneur in America is to be free. Not about greed and money, it's about freedom. But it's really about whatever your vision, you know, for freedom and for your lifestyle and financial freedom looks like. So make sure that that's clear, and that's something that, you know, you can chart step by step to get there. So if you haven't done your anti-money laundering and your writing business, you need to check and make sure that yours isn't going to expire at the end of the year. To do that, you go to My WFG, hit your suitcase, run a report, and run your licensing and appointments report and see when your anti-money laundering expires. If you need my help with that, let me know. I'd be happy to look it up for you and shoot you a screenshot to make sure that all of your commissions don't get suspended and all of your appointments don't get knocked back, because that could cost you about a week. So we definitely want to stay on top of the anti-money laundering deadline. And as everybody knows, after the Patriot Act, everyone has to do an anti-money laundering if you're in financial services, every 1 to 2 years. We've all done it. The other announcement is to get your 1099 electronically. You just have to go to My WFG, hit the suitcase, run a report again, and you want to pull the current 1099 miscellaneous report, select the year that you want to generate the full view, and that's what you need, you know, for end of the year taxes and things like that. If you have not opted in to get your 1099 electronically, you can do that by going to My WFG. On the bottom there, you have your contact settings. You hit on my profile again, and it allows you to set up that electronic 1099 if it's not set up already. If you want my help or Upline's help, we'd be happy to help you with that as well. Notes from Bill Mitchell from yesterday. If you were on the meeting for the company yesterday, you know Bill Mitchell is the CEO of WealthWave, and he has some great pointers, and I always take notes. I'm always every day trying to learn and better myself. He was talking about putting in time and consistency, and that's absolutely true in this business. And he also brought up that if you're not making enough money, you're not helping enough families, so help more families. This is a great time around the holidays to be with loved ones and talk a little bit about, you know, how excited you are about what you're doing and living benefits and the changes in the marketplace. Also, if you're not comfortable with that, it's a great time to schedule people for free financial needs analysis. It's a great gift that you can give a loved one, a $1,000, $1,500 value. Definitely something that we do, and it's a great feeling to help people, help loved ones, and Also makes us a lot of money in the process. You're also going to see a lot of changes that we're going to discuss in the future slides here about the WFG process. It's constantly becoming more better, more fiscally responsible, smoother. We're constantly getting more and more tools. Salesforce is being introduced, the new iZone. We're going to be able to hold 10 times more capacity than we're holding now, which means your business is going to be flowing a lot more smoothly, which is great. New people are going to get access to more tools while they're studying for their license. They're going to have more of a deadline of when that should be done, 9 months. Really shouldn't take anybody more than a few weeks to get their license, maybe a month at most. I know that the new system gives them 9 months. It's more than enough time to motivate people to get everything done. There is going to be a new Transamerica CEO announced. I know Bill Mitchell, who is very high up in WFG and helps with a lot of these systems, knows him well and says he's an awesome guy. So we're going to be looking forward to that announcement coming out in the next week or two. And lastly, the 3 books that he recommended, 12-Week Year, which, all of us know about, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. Here's a little picture of that down here. And then Double Your Contacts by Michael J. Durkin. So that's what these books look like. Let me know if you need, a copy of the slide or anything like that to check those out. I'm sure that you're going to get a lot out of them. The other thing that I wanted to discuss, and you've been getting a lot of emails about it, are the major enhancements and total revamp of the AMA, which is the Associate Membership Agreement process. So if you've logged into your MyWFG account, you will have seen this notification that effective yesterday, the existing AMA is going to be replaced with a new registration process called, the launch onboarding system. So like I talked about, it's going to help people get licensed more, get them producing as quickly as possible. And we can dive into this really quickly. You're going to see really the biggest change is there's an extra $25 that's going to go for an extra background check, basically. So instead of 100, it's going to be 125, and that's split up 100 for the initial AMA process, and then 25 once they're licensed in order to run more of a detailed background check that's associated with that insurance license. So it's called WFG Launch. And like I said, that's the big change is this additional $25. You can look through this. I wanted to kind of, touch on all of this very briefly. I know that they already covered it yesterday. Active life agents, like I said, $125. We're not really doing much in Canada, but Canada's always been a little bit more expensive. You could see that that extra $25 carried to them as well. And this is what the actual website looks like now. So if you hit on Start a New AMA, or if you go to ama.mywfg.com, this is what the new one looks like. I grabbed it this morning. You can see if they're still asking for, United States or Canada. They want to know, do they have an active life insurance license? They want to know if they have an active securities license. So this is going to really help us a lot. I'm really excited about these changes. This is a little bit of a flow chart for the new AMA process. You see it's still the same website, ama.mywfg.com. We put in the identifying information, recruiter data. Recruit still signs the AMA, pays the $100 fee. The SMD gives the approval. That generates an agent code. Now, once they have their license, then that's when the full background check is conducted, and the E&O insurance is required once they get their first appointment. So if they're licensed, then they will go straight into this queue over here. If they're not, you can see that they're going to be set up through the new launch. And once they get their license, then they'll move over to the MyWFG. So if anybody needs a copy of this flow chart, I'd be happy to send it over, but you all probably already have it in your email. The other thing that I wanted to discuss is, you could see all of the great products and everything all under one platform. Some of the benefits that we get, managing your business through MyWFG. Your WFG Lifeline is a great tool that tells you if you have any course requirements, if your anti-money laundering is expiring, if any of your licenses are expiring, if you have an E&O balance due. So your Lifeline is a great tool. The appointment process, you've got, ways to track through the appointment process, BOSS electronic forms, WFG reports, App Advantage, WFG Talks, advancements tracker. I did see a question come up. Once the new agent pays the $100, they're going to get a code number. The $25 comes into play once they're licensed to do the extra background check. So once the new agent pays the $100, they're going to get a code number. That way they can start coding while they're studying for their license that I saw come through. Thank you for that. WFG reports, IGO, advancement trackers, WFG talks. We've got some really, really great tools. IGO, you can track your team. Text messages, we always get you all set up for that. A lot of tools to build client relationships. WFG Pulse is a great app that you can use. My Sales, everything's going to be all together for IGO. It's going to go straight from the FNA into illustrations into IGO. We're going to be able to track all the different carriers all in one spot instead of having to look all around through the different carrier websites. So that's going to be really exciting, all brought to you by Agent One through iPipeline. And of course, the new updated changes to the AMA application. So now everything you need is really on one platform. You could see all of our proprietary systems and services, E&O, WFG launch, appointment managers, agent reports, advancement management, iZone, WFG Pulse and text messages, and then all of this stuff is also built in: Salesforce, Agent One, IGO, DocuSign, Smarsh, Outstand, Firelight, Synergy, Informs, Morningstar, LMS is coming soon. A lot of really, really exciting stuff, and I love how it's all together now, all in one place. Increasing your sales, we have all of the top providers, building a web presence, tracking sales opportunities, engaging with campaigns, the sales pipeline, access content libraries. We just have so much great stuff. Help building your team, with the new associate onboarding, automated communications, tracking recruiting opportunities, team member reporting, monitoring new associate progress, team email marketing, ton of great new stuff coming. Servicing your clients better, application management, support advocacy, client householding, protecting your business with E&O, documents and archiving, approved materials. So everything's in one place, all integrated and built in together. All of this stuff, of course, is accessible on any device. They have mobile apps for all of this stuff. And it's really a great value if you kind of take a look at some of these things separately, how much you would be paying, every month, almost $900. You could see what we get at the different associate levels. This is with the production bonus, and I'll talk about that on the next slide. So you could see at the different levels as your business grows what that looks like. The production bonus, so if you're writing 2,000 personal points a month, 4,000 personal points over 2 months, or 6,000 personal points over a quarter. Just to explain that, 6,000 points is a $500 a month policy. So if you're writing at least, $500 a month policy every 3 months, you get the $65 bonus off all 3 months. So it's a great value. None of this starts for 60 days. So new agents have 60 days to get that production going to qualify for the production bonus. Very similar to what we have now, but I think that this is a better breakdown. And I just have a few more slides left. I did already talk about this. Holidays, it's a great time to discuss getting a financial needs analysis, talking about, living benefits, IUL, annuities with loved ones. IULs make great gifts for kids. So when you're thinking about what to get your loved ones, I'm sure they have, a lot of toys and things like that they're going to, just throw to the side. Something like an IUL or a living benefits or a financial needs analysis is a great gift. So keep that in mind going into the holidays. So go ahead and finish 2018 strong, build momentum going into 2019. Just remember, You know, the universe is preparing for what you asked it to prepare for, and you're the one that's in control of your life. So keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and grab Mike. Thank you so much for letting me train. Bear with me just for 1 second while I get him. Thanks.
All right, everybody, we're almost done with this year. Not sure how your 2018 end up or is going to end up, but like Alana spoke about, 2019 is going to be a good year for the company, can be a great year for you as well. You just have to put the pieces together. A lot of people are already traveling. They let me know. So, you know, we've got Wednesday team meetings, odd time of the week, odd time of the day as well. A lot of people access the recordings. As we go forward, we're going to try to get more and more and more people on these live. One of my goals for next year. So we're going to hopefully throughout next year in the Wednesday team training just continue to give you guys stuff that will help you build your business, help you organize your business, and help you manage your business better. Some of the questions that I've had over the past week is, you know, how does a blog tie into what we do? Well, a blog is essentially like the front door of your social media. That's the way that you want to look at it. It's an excellent way to capture a larger audience. You know, your site consists of pages and posts, and it's all going to be original stuff by you. So it's another way to engage your audience, influence your audience, and build your audience around your portfolio of social media, including a blog. You can go out and do it on your own or in your Gmail account in that little Rubik's Cube where you find your drive and other things. If you click down to more, you'll see Blogger. Now, I've done research. They're not going to discontinue Blogger when they kill Google+. It's a good way to start a blog, easy way to start a blog. If you get a little bit more, if you want to get more in-depth, WordPress has one that's a little bit more, you know, as far as the architect of it, gives you more freedom. Also, another question that I've had is the hashtags. Yes, you do not want to sit there every day when you're posting and think about the greatest hashtags to use. Remember, that posting is just about having activity, keeping your feed going. You don't want to sit there for a half hour constructing a meme, finding hashtags, and posting. It's a waste of time. Get that stuff done really quickly. So you want to build a Word document or some type of a document that has your most commonly used hashtags. A couple sites you can go to is webstagram.com and righttag.com. If you put in the search bar a general term like marketing, it'll give you some of the most used, and then also ways to build an audience quickly or over time. Also, the Facebook group. Guys, we go over this. This is a great way to interact with the team. So you get to know each other, you ask, answer questions, share relevant material, push each other towards common goals, and recognize the ones that are making it happen. We're not in an office setting. Our Facebook group offers a way that we can all get together, share material, get to know each other. So definitely, as you have partners coming in, make sure that you're getting them invited to the Facebook group or ask us to do it and following up to make sure that they got in. It's a way to connect us all together. The more connection we have to each other, the better uniformity that we have as a group, as an organization, the easier it is to build out. Also, another thing about the Facebook, you know, Facebook group, you can get personal here. You can share goals, how you plan to reach them. Just kind of, you know, get personal. You know, your shortcomings, your triumphs, what's working, what's not working. Trust me, people want to see from other people, you know, what's working, what's not working, and, you know, what you're basically doing to try to build your business. We've got a poll on the Facebook group right now. We'll open it or leave it open for another week. I just kind of want to know what you guys' biggest obstacles are right now heading into 2019. Like I said, we'll leave that open another week, tally it up, and we'll talk about ways to overcome whatever roadblocks or obstacles you guys are running into. Also, somebody asked me about Facebook Messenger this week. Facebook Messenger is a great way to go out and introduce either the business opportunity or the products to your warm market. And you can just go right through Facebook Messenger and start to message those people. Facebook Messenger pops up. They're going to get that message delivered. Really, guys, it's about forming enough legs of marketing for the products as well as the business that you've got conversations open that are building a pipeline that will eventually lead you to one of those three outcomes that we talk about. Another thing that came up this week, somebody asked me on an old post about the Facebook list. So this is just a very raw tool. You can get it. It's $27. If you try to leave the page, it'll say, no, it's $17. It works best on Chrome. And basically, all you do is go in there, you search for something like insurance agent, let it search for a period of time, pull up the query, and it's got a bunch of email addresses associated. Now, could be U.S., could be outside international. Like I said, it's a very raw tool. But if you're looking for raw data, then you need, or if you need to look for raw data to get the business going and to have that activity in the beginning, this is something, I use it. I don't use it as much as I used to, but I still do use it. I've got a pretty big email list compiled now, and that's all you're really looking to do in the beginning is just get that email list built, give those people 3 or 4 emails a year. Make sure that you're adhering to the spam rules, have the address, have the unsubscribe link, and taking people out that are either not wanting to be on your email list or you get an error back that the account or the email doesn't exist. Also, this came up as well this week. People wanted to know about the limits here. On Gmail, a personal account, there's a 500-day max limit on emails. On the G Suite, there's a 2,000 max limit every day. And both of those will correspond with GMAS. So it just depends on what you're using. If you're using an email specifically for marketing, then I would go outside your personal email and set up an additional one. That way you've got some separation there in case something happens. And we talked about this last week, guys. Q1 of 2019 can be very explosive for you, or it can be just like any other quarter. It's your choice. We've tried to organize the first quarter of 2019 to get you guys excited about this, get you working, and get you moving towards your goals. That's going to be the start of the new 12-week year. The Q1 points multiplier that the WFG platform came up with, and the basketball tournament that we run. On the points multiplier, if you're new, this is something very advantageous for you. If you've been around here for a while, it's just changing the way that the points are accounted for. It used to be when you submitted something, you get 100% of those points on the submission. Now, that kind of sucks because if you get a decline or something doesn't go through, then that 100 points is charged back. What they're doing now is they're going to divide it for accounting purposes exactly like it's paid out. So the 40% on the front end, 60% on the back end. But in order to do that, have a transitional period, they're setting this up. January, every point multiplied by 1.8. February, 1.35, and March, 1.2. So once again, if you're working on different goals, whether it be you're running a base shop or trying to get to SVP, you should know what this means for you and the amount of work or the amount of results that you can get from this period of time. So the base shop bonus pool, if you're running a base shop, you've got that point multiplier that will get you closer. So work hard like the point multiplier was not there, but just know in the background that it's there, and it's going to help you out tremendously. Also, the base shop builder bonuses. Obviously, those are something that when you get to SVP, you want to be hitting the monthly bonuses every month. You want to be hitting the quarterly bonuses. This will help you in the beginning. And then a lot of you guys who are vice presidents that are working on, a senior vice president, need to have that plan of action. You need to know what your rolling 90-day is, and you need to understand what this first quarter means for you. If you guys are vice presidents, there's no reason this first quarter of 2019 with the points multiplier, you shouldn't be able to hit this. You guys, we should have a nice run of SVPs in the first quarter of 2019. Also, the basketball tournament. We talked about this last week. It's just a way to break up the monotony of every day of building this business out. And, we create these tournaments so that if somebody's been here a day or 3 years, it doesn't matter. They can both compete with each other because what we look at is direct business partner hires, fast track exchanges accepted, and standard track exchanges accepted. That way it's an even field no matter where somebody is, first day or 3 years, they can compete in this tournament. Starts January the 7th, same day as our kickoff of the 12-week year, and it runs through April 7th, which is the end of the Final Four. A $100 gift card goes to the person who comes out on top. Last year's winner was Sean Gibson. And the 12-week year. If you are new and this is your first time around, all I'm looking for is for you, if you commit to start, to see it through the end. If you start and stop continuously, like in this business, you're not going to get enough out of this. No matter how you do, good, bad, or in between, stick with it. We're not looking for perfection. If you stay with it, you're going to benefit. Even if you don't come close to your goals or tactics, next time around you'll get better and better. Once again, this business system mixed with a time management system like the 12-week year can provide phenomenal results for you guys. And if you do not have the book, you should be reading it right now. If you've never had an Audible account, I've got a free link, an invite from me, where you can download that for free. You guys should be rereading that book, getting ready for the start. And we're going to have a class on this. We're going to do it next Wednesday on the 26th, day after Christmas, to make sure that, we've got everything in place heading into the new year. What you'll find is, or what I found out is, if you're new, you don't have a steady stream of income in this business yet, then you want to take a look at actionable goals that you can actually meet. Instead of income goals, instead of partner growth goals, maybe you have goals that you can control. And those are leading indicators. If you've got a goal about the amount of calls you want to make, the amount of videos that you want to send out, the number of people you want to open conversations with. We'll go into more detail about this next Wednesday, but do not set goals where you have little to no control over it. The goals that you set and you can meet, those are leading indicators that will lead to the partner growth, lead to the income growth. But if you don't have total control over what you or how you can meet those goals, you're going to find this to be a frustrating experience. So once again, next Wednesday we'll go over some more details about how to get the most out of this process. And really, guys, it's all about developing self-discipline. We come into the first part of the year, everybody's going to be joining the gym, everybody's going to have these grand resolutions. By end of February, most people are done. Same thing here. If you go out right now and let's say I gave everybody in an organization a free gym membership. Some people are never going to set foot in it. Some people are going to power through for a number of weeks and quit. Some people are going to stay with it. It's all about understanding yourself. If you have personality defects, you self-sabotage yourself, identify and correct those problems, because once you start, like we always talk about, making promises to yourself and keeping those promises, it builds self-confidence, which leads you to be a better builder, a better manager, and a better overall influencer over a lot of different areas of life. Serious commitment. This is what we're looking for next week or next year. If you're serious and you're building a team, you should have the team tracker. You should know where people are, what they need to do to progress. If they've quit, keep them on the bottom and figure out, why they left. So you can identify if there's something I need to do better, or if this is just something that's a partner because they quit, just didn't put any effort in. I've got on the YouTube channel a video specific to the team tracker. You don't understand what we're talking about, watch that. If you need the team tracker, ask me for that. If you are running an organization, you need to know where all parts of that organization are. And then also the activity sheet. This ties in with the 12-week year, self-discipline, getting more out of your day. So the activity sheet and the team tracker, that's on an individual and a team basis. When you combine those together, serious commitment is not about full or part-time. It's not about the time commitment. It's about whatever that time commitment is, full or part-time, that you're taking that serious, because you're not going to have a serious business, and you're not going to have serious money until you get serious about your business and your money. Activity sheet, we might be changing this in the near future, but it's just a way to keep up hash marks every day. What did I do? And then over a week's period of time, multiple weeks period of time, or months period of time, you can start to understand, if I do this on the front end, I'm expecting this on the back end. And once you nail that, it becomes very, very easy to scale an organization and teach other people how to do the same. If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be almost impossible. And that brings me to the next point. Management is a huge part of what we do. If you're a leader, if you're a manager, and people can count on you, you're going to find success here. Doesn't matter whether you have a small team, mid-sized team, large organization, that team tracker helps you, and it helps us help you. One of the scariest things that I find about this business is when I come to one of you guys and ask, hey, what's the deal with notes? Haven't seen any updated information that's come through. And your response to me is, who? That's a problem. You've got to know who's in your organization. This is not an MLM where you're going to sign a bunch of people up and forget about them and just see who sticks. Management, leadership, organization is a must. 90 days. We're trying to break things down into smaller cycles for you. That way that you can concentrate on things right here, right now, extract more value out of the time cycles, and get a lot more done. And that breaks us down to, what's the secret of success? It's compressing those time frames, collapsing the activity, working through like a 90-day Mad Men cycle, taking action at the speed of instruction. And unless you're aggressive, remember, guys, you have to be the aggressive one in the marketplace. It doesn't matter whether it's financial services or any other sector or industry. If you're not aggressive in what you do, you're going to get beat out by the more aggressive person next to you, and you're not going to find the success that you're looking for. Massive action. Remember, if somebody wants to look at our business, we push them to watch the videos. We never, ever push them to come in the company. You need to be aggressive in the follow-up to resolve a lead for an actual resolution, not dumping them because of non-communication. Also, remember, you can't have a yearly goal without breaking things down into monthly, weekly, daily, hourly activity. Once again, if you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier to scale this organization and teach other people how to do that as well. And even furthermore, if you in this foxhole of day-to-day activity, you want to break yourself down. Don't say I'm going to make calls for the next 4 hours. Concentrate on 1 hour at a time. And that will give you the ability to have, intense attention, focus, energy, intensity in that hour, and execution. Good or bad during that hour. If it's a bad hour, you can kind of step back, kind of regroup, go back to the next hour. If it's a great hour, kind of reward yourself and set you up for the next hour. Break it down, measure on the basis. It's far easier to improve both short and long term. Set continuous deadlines and goals. This creates the intensity that we were talking about. And reward yourself more often. If you've got this small compartmentalized day, hours at a time, you did well, congratulate yourself. Reward yourself for that. You want to get in the habit of creating intensity, executing, and rewarding yourself for doing that. And like we've been talking about all the time, if a factory needs to improve its output by 25%, they know pretty much what they do by the hour. And it all goes back to that activity, going back and streamlining it down to, if I, improve X on the front side, I'm expecting Y on the back side. So remember, in order to know how to effectively increase or scale production, you have to first know, how you get there, how you get to what you're doing now, and how you get to where you actually want to go. As a recruiter, you've got to be able to manage yourself. Concentrate on motivation and small percentage gains. Also, this is something that you guys should start evaluating, your partner relationship. Start thinking about individual partner value, not in just what they bring to the table, but what you also bring to the table. If both sides can get under the expectations, this is what I'm going to offer from my side, it becomes very easy to start identifying the partners that are actually going to be your core group. They're going to help build the distribution. Remember, you cannot want this more than your partner wants this. Talk to your partners that are actively working to try to make it happen. If partners are working, actively trying to make it happen, you should have a good open line of communication with those people. Don't be that person that never talks to your partners. In a 5-year plan, you've got to talk to your partners and got to reinforce. It's not just something when we're interviewing people. It's the total reinforcement. This is a 5-year plan. 1 year to learn, trip over yourself, learn all the systems, learn how to be a better manager, marketer, recruiter, consultant, whatever it is they're going to be, and then 4 years to build. And guys, in that 4 years, if or that 5-year process, if you're making personalized memes and you make one a day and you do that 300 days out of the year and you do that for 3 or 4 years, well, that's 900 to 1,200 memes that you've got in a folder, and all of a sudden activity on social media becomes very repetitive. You've got this huge library of memes that you've made and you're just cranking them out. So it's building so that you can fall back on stuff, so that upfront work that you did, you've got things that are already in place, and this becomes very automated, routine in nature. Also, if you come in, start thinking like a senior vice president. Wayne Gretzky says, some people skate to the puck, I skate to where the puck's going to be. You're going to focus, have your eye on the distribution. Yes, there's things that you have to do to compartmentalize the steps that get you there, but you want to start thinking in massive distribution, large-scale organization, mentally start getting yourself there, because when you start thinking like that, it's going to start to draw your activity and your attention to the end result that you're looking for. Also, guys, your partners have to know, and this is part of a manager's job, you have to know how the business works. You have to know how the contract spreads work, how we get paid, the overrides, how to build out the business. It's very important. It's not just about one part of the business or another part of the business. It's the entirety of the business. When you create a senior vice president, they need to know how to do this stuff. That's the time frame leading up to that. You've got to put time, energy, resources into these people. It's an investment on the front side. It's going to pay you on the back side for long periods of time if you do this correctly. That brings us to this. This is how the distribution is built out. You need to understand the points, how deep we go, how each level is paid out. You need to understand the monthly bonus pools, the quarterly bonus pools. You need to understand how you get paid and how you're getting to wherever you want to go. Me, I want massive distribution, coast to coast of financial services. I get there by creating these independent agency owners across the country. It's very important that I understand and help them understand how we're all going to get this done. And really it breaks down. Yes, you're going to have, we wrote a ton of business this week, a ton of policies that had nothing to do with any type of tracks. Guys, the tracks are there to give you stepping stones and a visualization of how to get this done. As your organization builds out, you're going to have tons of client sales coming in. This is how you get it started, because if you have no track, nothing to visualize, it becomes stale, stagnant, and people start to drift. So all we're asking for is an exchange in the beginning. You get a ton of training, ton of support, make an exchange to that direct partner that brought you in. That's how the system monetizes the efforts of the recruiter, headhunter, whatever you want to call that person. On a fast track exchange, that puts you at agency manager, double contract promotion, and you've got reductions and guidelines for everything going forward leading up to and including senior vice president. Once you do that, you're done. You owe nothing to anybody else in this company now or forevermore. Then you go on to phase 2, which is the start of the build out, which we're going to help you. As soon as you've got 3 business partners that have come in that have done that fast track exchange, it's $4 to $6 grand in your pocket. Those people are agency manager contracts. And by you doing that, accepting those exchanges and building your organization, now you're at a VP contract. Now you go to the next step, which is build your team by 3 more additional phase 1 qualifiers. You could have 10 people in your organization, 6 phase 1 qualifiers. This is a step-by-step guideline on phase 1 qualifiers. So at this point, you've got yourself and you've got 6 phase 1 qualifiers. Now you're going to work with these people to help 5 of those 6, not 5 new, 5 of these 6 do the same exact thing that you did and complete phase 2. Once you're there, you've got the number of net points, the number of partners under the reductions and guidelines for SVP. Now, this is just a guideline to get it done. It's a very easy way to visualize, what do I need to do now, what do I need to do next, and what do I need to do for my partners as they're coming in so I get them to where they want to go and get me where I want to go. You should know exactly where rolling 90-day on your team if you're a VP. Also, in the CRM, learn how to effectively use the CRM for notes. Managers, consultants, and inviters or marketers use the CRM to effectively communicate with each other. That way you're not on the phone tracking people down all day. The notes are in there. The instructions are in there. Everybody's seeing that. It creates, if you've got a team of 5, not so much of a big deal. If you've got a team of 500, these notes are so important. You want to build good habits for yourself, your business partners, and lay out a foundation that's going to allow you to control massive distribution and a huge organization. That's kind of bringing us to our next point. The 10-day clock, when the manager in the Tier 4 sets the 10-day clock, it starts. Now, if they have 20 names in the CRM, by the time the Tier 6 rolls around, we'll reset that clock. The consultant's job is not to manage a person. So if the 10 days come up, it's the manager's job to go back to that person and talk to them. It's all about the communication, knowing your roles, and sticking to your roles. Don't bleed outside of your responsibilities, because it starts to disrupt the system, and then you can't teach other people how to duplicate this. Also, with your partners, guys, you have to inform them and teach them how they get paid. How is the commission coming in? That comes from 2 important areas. Number 1 is the assembly line. Where were they in the assembly line? How did they get paid? Do they understand all this? And then furthermore, secondly, how to read a commission statement. You have to be able to read a commission statement for yourself and be able to teach that to your partners. If not, mass confusion, nobody knows what's going on, and that uncertainty creates doubt in your organization. Also for your partners, very easy. Just follow the system that works for them. Understand the importance of the tools that we have, the tier system that we follow, and the tracks that we offer. And if you look at our business as this right here, just a step-by-step guide, it's very easy to break this down. On the front end, you have a marketing funnel. Social media, warm market, cold market, doesn't matter. Calls, text, emails, social media, landing pages, it doesn't matter. The lead creation feeds the CRM. So the lead creation feeds the CRM, and then from the follow-up we do, the communication that we do, it's going to yield us from the CRM one of three results down here, and that's called the outcomes: potential partner, potential client, or neither. Leads feed the CRM, and the CRM has its own kind of filtration process to give you the outcome. Very easy business model for us. Key to your business is the Tier 1 ABCs, especially in the beginning. That's all you should be concentrated on: getting videos out, effective follow-up, and getting people that are interested, not jumping up and down. You get those people, but I'm talking about, I saw it, I've got questions, concerns, I need clarification. That shows me interest. Tier 1 ABC is a big part of getting your business built in the beginning. So what are you supposed to do? If you're new, open conversations through the marketing, that funnel to the videos, that lead to ABC calls. The managers will help you with everything else, and by going through that process, you're going to start to see how we talk to people, how people are organized, who we're looking for, who we're trying to keep out, and that will help you develop your own strategy going forward that you can take onto your team. Remember, guys, I pound this into you guys every single week almost, but if you're in sales, building, recruiting, it doesn't matter. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune separates the high earners from the low earners, the big builders from the small builders. Be personal, be relevant, entice people, get a call to action. If you are coming from a business build-out, it's easier. What I find, it's easier to come from a position of power because we are interviewing. I'm not letting everybody in with a breath and a pulse. When you start coming to them, this is what you have to do in order to set up the interview. These are prerequisite. You have to watch these. You have to fill out the interview request form. Gets people in line. If you're confident in your approach, people are going to fall into line. The people that don't would never anyway. So be structured, be confident, be direct in your approach, but follow up. Don't let these leads, if you're good at creating leads and that's all you're good at, you're not going to find success here. Follow up is where you're going to build your business, build the clientele, and find the success that you're looking for. And success on the phone is not going to be, or the phone's not going to be something you can escape from. You've got to be comfortable talking on the phone. Now, in the beginning, you're going to trip over yourself. Rocks are going to be in your mouth. That's all part of the process. That's a good thing. If you're out there making mistakes, you're getting past the learning curve quicker. But remember, that phone time is all about networking and marketing as well. It's about setting up potential partners or clients for the next step, whatever that might be. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not something, we talk about this all the time, where when we set up and help you with your profile, give you a little connection message, and you connect with 50 people a day, and you might or might not send the connection messages out, and that's all you do with LinkedIn. You are missing a huge opportunity here. LinkedIn is a must for our business, whether you are marketing or whether you're networking or whether it's a combination of both. LinkedIn is an incredible site. Just like I tell you guys, when you go to LinkedIn, that top search bar, you can search for whatever you want: marketers, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, and connect with second connections to build your audience. You can also go in there and look for CPAs, real estate agents, and go for the first connections, people that are already connected with you. It's a great way to organize your thoughts. If you have a special message you want to go out to real estate agents, you can pull those up right there. Message, 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 message. It's a great way to organize your thoughts, structure your day, and talk to people with specific targeted information about opening up conversation where you can help them with their existing business, open up new territories, or just get into a general conversation with them to open that networking possibility up. Same thing in the groups. As you join a group, if you've got 1,800 connections and you join a group of 85,000 members, well, all of a sudden you can start going in there, you can start messaging those members. Spend some time on LinkedIn. If you do, you can extract value out of this platform. The groups as well. We just talked about that. Interacting, influencing people in those groups. Search for the groups that you want to be a part of that make sense for you. And know the difference between a post and an article. Just like blogging, if you get into the habit of writing a couple articles that are unique, specific to what you want to talk about, all of a sudden you start to, build a library in LinkedIn, build a library on your blog where people can get to know you a little bit better, find back articles. And it's just, it's a way to blanket your audience with more and more information that puts you in a position where they start being attracted to want to talk to you about certain things. And remember, most all of your business is going to be built outside the warm market, which is an incredible opportunity versus the traditional model where all of their business is based on the warm market. But we ask that you start there to A, learn the CRM, learn the tier 1 script, learn how to push videos out, learn how to use all the parts of the CRM in the beginning. But the warm market can also be a great place to get your business jump-started. There might be a potential partner there. There is a heavy possibility if you work these leads correctly in the beginning that you're going to find a term upgrade. So the premium that you can extract from the warm market is there. If you work this correctly, like I said, base value, if you get absolutely nothing out of it, at least you know how to use the CRM and the tier 1 script. You get something out of it, or your partners get something out of it, it may entice them to put even more names in there. Start here. Like I said, 99+% of your business will be built on people that you've never spoken to before. You have to start. And then don't forget, your tier 1 right here is a front door to your business. So A, you get to keep out who you don't want. You get to let in who you want. But also, being that it's a front door, you have to learn how to greet people. You have to learn how to use certain type of language when you're talking to people that get them interested in your business or your products. So once again, the front door is there for 2 reasons. Learn how to greet and invite the right people. Learn how to keep out the wrong people. And when you guys are talking, it's not about a job opportunity. It's about getting to know someone, network marketing, learning a little bit about what they're looking for. This is an incredible opportunity. I want to be in the insurance industry. I don't want to be an insurance agent. People have a misconception of what this business is. Learn how to build rapport and learn how to quickly get over relayed information that piques the interest of the other side. Partner persona. We've talked about this many times. You need to know who you're looking for. If you don't know who you're looking for, you're going to get a lot of people that you're not looking for. So build a partner persona. Yours could be different from mine. Who is it that I want as a partner? And start to identify that, because once again, when you know, your brain starts to compute this and starts to look for and market in a certain way that attracts these type of people. It's quality over quantity. I can't stress this enough. I would much rather have 1 solid partner a month than 5 people that come in and waste a bunch of time. So through the interview process, through the filters that we put on, we're trying to find the right people. Sometimes the wrong people slip in. Don't get worried about bringing in massive amounts of people. That's going to happen. You concentrate on a structured build out where you have key people in your organization that you're working with daily to get this done. Once 7 to 10 are there, you're going to have multi-directional growth across this country. Also, when you're talking to people, this is who I'm looking for. Do they understand what's going on in the environment overall? Do they understand what that means when they take an established marketplace that's this big, create an area of disruption, and what the new wealth creation that comes out of the backside of that means for people? Disruption, distribution, the products and the services that we offer. This is a really, really great opportunity for people. It's not for everybody. The people that do understand this will be instantly attracted to it. If you can identify those people, bring them in, support them, you're going to find the success that you're looking for. When you're out there talking to people, what do you want? It's probably the same thing that I want, that most everybody out there is looking for. When you're able to market in a way that talks about time freedom, that talks about financial freedom, and it talks about lifestyle freedom, do people want time freedom? Yes, they do. Are people looking for financial freedom? Better believe they are. And are people looking for lifestyle freedom? Of course. Now, when you wrap all three of these up, it's the new rich. It's not just about making money. It's about enjoying life, having experiences as well. So when you give somebody the opportunity to look at a business like this through the eyes or the lenses of these freedoms, it's going to open up a lot more conversations for you and allow you to really control the conversation. As you go forward, we all want two things. We want to make more money and we want an easier life. The money and the life combined together, that's what we're looking for. That's the mission statement for our business partners. And then don't forget, when you're out there talking to people, sometimes we cannot crack this mentality. Sometimes we can. Producer, if you want to sell insurance, that's fine. This is not the right opportunity for you. If you want to disrupt this industry, change the way these financial services agencies are built, operate and manage, and create massive distribution, then I've got something for you. It's the old story of the tortoise and the hare. Eventually, the distribution, where it may lag in the beginning to a producer, it will catch that producer and then crush that producer. Distribution, leverage, creating a cash flow asset with passive income, not a book of business that spins off residual income, but a growing asset that spins off a lot of passive income is where, our area of concentration in this model is. Also, when you are visualizing this, just like what Amazon did with books in the beginning, think about just cranking out a large conveyor belt, a huge warehouse of life policies, retirement policies, financial planning, and we're going to crank those out all across the country, and that creates an opportunity where this is our territory. This is a land grab, in my opinion, in a very big industry. Go out there, let people know you're in business. You're not going to please everybody, but the people that do understand this, if you get this out to the general public in a clear, concise, articulate way, you're going to open the conversations, and until you feel comfortable, we're going to help you resolve or close those conversations. And don't forget, when you're out there, the WFG platform is an important part of what we do. All of these other little IMOs, FMOs out there, this is what they look like, a visual. This is the WFG platform. So the ability to absorb the kind of growth that we're going to throw at this, the ability to do that in an orderly way, pay out billions of dollars in commission, the huge advantage that we have, guys. All we have to do is concentrate on fostering business relationships, building our organization. The platform takes care of the admin for us. So, as we go forward over the next couple of weeks, it's the holidays, family time. I already had a bunch of people say they were traveling, they were going to miss this meeting. It's that time of year. I want to wish you guys a happy holidays. But when you're out there, when you have this time off, once again, I'm a firm believer and a proponent of educating yourself. And I think one of the greatest ways to educate yourself these days is on YouTube. You can look up whatever you want, get better at whatever you want. The easiest way to do that is look for the most recent videos about that topic with the most views on it. You can be a better marketer, manager, consultant. You can learn how to build your social media better. Anything that you want is at the click of your finger, is at the click of the keyboard. So as people are sitting around watching TV, falling in and out of consciousness for the holidays, spend a little time, get yourself prepared for a great 2019. And remember, long-term view. You can't come in 5 weeks later when we gave you a 5-year outlook and start questioning the process. It's a process. The first year is all about learning, trying to build the best you can, getting over those hurdles, and then from that point forward, it's a straight 48-month build-out. You've got to, in the trenches, the foxhole, the day-to-day activity, there's good days, bad days, very bad days. You can't get caught up on the day-to-day. You've got to keep your vision. And then lastly, hold the vision, trust the process. You've got to do that. You've got to believe in this. You've got to believe that the opportunity is there for you, your business partners. And then finally, like I said, next Wednesday, not sure how big of an audience we'll have. We will record this as usual. I'm going to dive down into the 12-week year, talk about attainable goals, talk about tactics, talk about really the ways to organize your thought patterns so that you can get the most out of the 12-week year you possibly can. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you guys have any comments publicly, great. If you need to talk to us privately, we're always available to help you.
Another fantastic training by Mike Amos. Thank you so much, Mike. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and let me answer this question really quickly again about the AMA. Once the new agent, whether they're licensed or not licensed, pays the $100, they're going to get a code number. The only difference is once they are licensed, they're going to have to pay the extra $25 for the background check. And they're also going to, the new agents without the license are just going to have access to a different platform while they're studying. And once they get their license, then they pay the $25 and they have access to my WFG. So that allows everybody coming in to have an agency number to be able to build their agency while they're getting licensed. So I hope that answers the questions. So let me go ahead and turn off the recording.